Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, I'm so glad you made it. This is the place where we dive deep into the stories behind the music, where legends are born, where the spotlight first finds them, and where dreams turn into reality. So before we start, make sure to subscribe, because today's story isn't just about fame or music. It's about resilience, childhood dreams, and the way a voice can change a life. Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered what it looks like when a superstar begins before the fame? Before the charts, before the headlines, before the world even knew their name? When the lights are smaller, the stage is local, but the dream is massive. Because that's where this story begins. Before he was Drake, the global icon, the chart dominator, the symbol of modern music, there was just a kid named Aubrey Graham. And long before the world saw him in front of sold-out arenas, before the Grammys, before Started from the Bottom became a worldwide anthem, there was a young boy with a quiet confidence and a burning love for performance. And that boy, he wasn't just waiting for his moment, he was already making it. Toronto, late 1990s, a city filled with rhythm, diversity, and the pulse of ambition. Picture this, a small, curious kid with a bright smile, growing up in a house where the sounds of soul and R&B floated through the walls. His dad, Dennis Graham, was a drummer for the legendary Jerry Lee Lewis. His uncle, Larry Graham, played with Prince. Music was everywhere. It wasn't just background noise, it was DNA. Now imagine being young Aubrey, listening to your father play those classic grooves, watching musicians pour their soul into sound and realizing, that's what I want to do. From early on, he didn't just hear music, he felt it. Every melody carried emotion, every lyric told a story, and he wanted to tell his own. So there he was, a small kid with a huge imagination, standing in front of the mirror, singing to his own reflection. No stage, no lights, no crowd, just pure passion. That's where it started. But then something else happened. That passion started to take shape. Drake didn't come from wealth. In fact, life was often complicated. His parents divorced when he was young, and he spent time moving between two very different worlds. His mother's Jewish neighborhood and his father's more musically vibrant community in Memphis. Two worlds, two cultures, two influences. That contrast gave him perspective, and that perspective gave him art. But before he'd write his own lyrics, before he'd become the voice of a generation, young Aubrey wanted to perform. And that meant getting on stage. Now let's pause here for a second. Imagine being a kid, standing in front of a crowd for the first time. The lights feel too bright, the air feels too heavy, your heart's racing faster than a drum line. And yet, in that moment, you either freeze or you fly. Drake flew. He entered local singing competitions, small school performances, neighborhood talent shows, community stages. Nothing glamorous, nothing televised, just raw beginnings. But every note he sang, every cheer from the audience, every judge's smile, it was fuel. He didn't just sing for attention, he sang for connection. Because even back then, he had something that set him apart. Emotional honesty. That's something you can't teach. You can train the voice, perfect the pitch, polish the tone, but you can't fake emotion. And Drake, even as a child, sang with heart. He carried his feelings in his tone. When he sang, people listened, not because he was the loudest or the flashiest, but because he meant it. Let's picture one of those early nights, a school auditorium, the air thick with anticipation. Kids backstage are laughing, joking, tuning their instruments. But Aubrey, he's calm, focused. He's wearing a slightly oversized shirt, maybe holding the mic a little too tight. But when the music starts, something changes. His voice fills the room, smooth, soulful, and mature beyond his years. You can almost see the judges exchange glances, the crowd leaning in. There's a warmth in his tone, that signature Drake sound, the one we'd all come to recognize years later, that gentle ache that feels like it's speaking directly to you. When the song ends, there's a moment of silence. Then applause, loud, heartfelt, unstoppable applause. That's when he realizes it. That stage is home. But the path wasn't easy. You see, while some kids had perfect support systems, Drake was figuring things out as he went. His mom, Sandy, worked hard to keep things together. His dad, while deeply musical, was often away. Drake's world wasn't simple. It was layered with challenges. But every challenge became inspiration. Every small competition, every performance, every lesson, it built something inside him. Discipline, drive, determination. That's the thing about early competitions. They aren't just about winning. They're about learning how to fail gracefully, how to face fear, and how to grow. Drake learned that early. He learned how to stand in front of a crowd and own his voice, even when his hands were shaking. He learned how to express emotion through melody. He learned how to connect. And that ability to connect, that's what would later separate him from everyone else in the industry. It wasn't long before that same charisma and presence caught the attention of others. Someone saw something in him, not just a singer, but a performer. That's when acting entered the picture. You remember Degrassi, The Next Generation? Yeah, before the Billboard charts and sold-out tours, Drake was Jimmy Brooks, a teenager finding his way in the world of TV. But here's what most people miss. That show wasn't a detour from his musical dreams. It was preparation. It taught him storytelling, stage presence, rhythm, timing, all skills that would later make him unstoppable in music. Even while acting, Drake never let go of his roots, the love for melody, the feeling of the crowd, the energy of performance. Those early singing competitions had done something powerful. They gave him belief. Because once you faced an audience as a kid, once you put your heart out there in front of strangers and made them feel something, you never forget that power. When Drake finally decided to step into music fully, all those childhood experiences came back. The small stages, the tiny microphones, the nervous energy, the applause. They became the foundation of the artist we know today. Think about his songs. Hold On, We're Going Home, Marvin's Room, Find Your Love. They aren't just hits, they're performances. They carry that same vulnerability, that same balance between confidence and softness he had as a child performer. That's not coincidence, that's memory. Drake learned to sing not for perfection, but for feeling. And that's why people relate to him. He sings about pain, love, regret, ambition, all the things that make us human. And that's what every great performer learns early. The truth in your voice is worth more than the size of the stage. Every superstar starts somewhere, but not everyone carries the essence of those early days into their fame. Drake does. You can still hear that kid from Toronto in every note. You can still feel that boy standing under a school spotlight, trying to prove to the world, and maybe to himself, that he belonged there. And isn't that the beautiful part? That even global icons start in humble places, with shaky voices, small crowds, and big dreams. Drake's early singing competitions weren't televised history. They were quiet beginnings that shaped everything. Without them, maybe we'd never have the Drake we know today. Because that's where he learned the most important rule of performance. You don't sing to impress, you sing to express. That's what turned a kid named Aubrey into an artist named Drake. Now I want to ask you something. Have you ever had a moment where your passion felt bigger than your circumstances? Where you felt something so deeply that you knew, no matter where you started, you'd find your stage someday? Because that's what this story is about. It's not just about a boy who sang in small competitions. It's about the courage to keep singing, even when no one's listening. If this story inspired you, if it reminded you that greatness often starts in the smallest rooms, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. Join our community where we celebrate the roots, the journeys, and the stories that make music more than just sound. It makes it soul. And before you go, tell me in the comments, what's your earliest memory of doing something you loved, even when no one else believed in it yet? Because who knows, that might just be your beginning.